Welcome back. 4 people have been arrested for allegedly inflating a multi-million rand contract at Eskom's Kusile power station. The suspects are 2 employees from engineering company Asia Brown Boveri, as well as their wives. Let's get more information now from eNCA's Govan Whittles, who is in court for us today. Govan, give us more details with regards to this case. How are they linked to Kusile?
Good afternoon, Maseko. Well, Mohammed Moedin and his wife are accused of corruptly facilitating the awarding of contracts from ABB to Impulse International related to work done at Kusile Power Station and Matla Power Station. The contracts that were awarded to ABB and ABB subsequently subcontracted to Impulse were worth about 600 million rand. And Mohammed Moedin was a former employee of ABB, is accused of inflating the cost of those contracts that needed to be paid out to Impulse International. And he's also accused of receiving a 38 million rand bribe. He's appeared in court today on charges of money laundering, fraud and corruption. And this is part of the investigative directorate's attempts to uncover the capture of Eskom. Regarding his wife, she's accused of accepting 2 vehicles as gratuities, as bribes, a Mercedes-Benz and a GTI, and then registering them in her maiden name, which she had changed the day that she got married to Mr. Mohammed Moedin, and she's facing charges of money laundering. Both have been granted bail, Mohammed Moedin being granted bail of 50,000 rand, while his wife, Raisa, being granted bail of 30,000 rand. And let's talk to the investigative directorate spokesperson about just how this relates to the capture of Eskom and uncovering who was behind it. Cindy Seboka joins us now. Cindy, thank you so much. So exactly how does this case fit into the capture of Eskom, and what makes the appearance of these individuals a high-profile matter?
For starters, this is a Schedule 5 offence in terms of one of the accused in the dock today. 4 people actually were arrested today. 2 arrested in KZN and the other 2 arrested in Middleburg in Mpumalanga and then brought here in Randburg to appear. Both of these 2 groups of people will be made into one group and they'll appear together. However, because of the distance of the others that we've arrested, hence both of these parties appeared separately. But what we must also state is that this for us is a big matter. For starters, today we also embarked on a search and seizure because there's other outstanding information which we wanted to go through to assess, to find out what we believe was the altering of some of the documentation that was provided to SARS. This is an initiative between ourselves, the Hawks, as well as SARS in terms of the search and seizure. But coming back to your initial question about how this is a high-profile matter, it's because of the schedule. It's also because of the fact that we're talking about 672 million rand that was benefited by ABB through what we believe were the assistance of these particular persons, especially in terms of Impulse and the work that it had to provide to ABB. Additionally, that we believe was shown through the gratification that they received through the cars and through the cash that they obtained. But this forms part of the greater scheme of the targeting of state-owned entities and the illegalities that took place there through contractors and or subcontractors. So this is for us is one of the big matters in which we've enrolled. You know that this is the second after the 750 million Kusile matter. So these are related.
Sure, these are all technical matters relating to repairs that were supposed to be undertaken at Kusile and also at Matla, and you've gone through some of the specifics, but more broadly, how does this case help uncover who is behind the capture of Eskom?
So what you'd know is that once you follow the money, you find that there's money here and there that was linked to some contract that was awarded. And when you go further up, you uncover who actually instituted the talks and who actually instituted which subcontractors to be awarded. So we are right on the tail of various persons who are aware, after seeing these accused appear in court today, that they could be next.
Thank you. Before you go, Cindy, just another matter is Angelo Agrizi's matter that was in court this morning. The investigative directorate has applied for a medical inquiry to determine whether or not he's fit to stand trial. What's the status of that application?
So today, the matter actually was heard in the Palm Ridge Specialized Crimes Court. It has been postponed to October, where it's actually postponed to obtain a High Court date to take it to the High Court, and the medical inquiry will be heard there. You will know that just last month and the month before, in May, we also appointed a pulmonologist, an independent pulmonologist, to assess Mr. Angelo Agrizi. So both assessments of his doctors, specialists, as well as the state-appointed one will be assessed, and a determination will be made whether or not he's fit or not to stand trial.
Thank you so much. That's Cindy Seboka. She's the spokesperson for the Investigative Directorate. Two cases that will go to the heart of state capture and the ID's bid to uncover who was behind it. She said that other high-profile people may notice that the ID is now hot in their tails, and there certainly is such expectation from the investigators here. And it looks like we may get answers on who the high-profile people were that were pulling the strings behind the awarding of contracts such as these for over 600 million rand to ABP, who then subcontracted it to Impulse International. It's back to you for now, Maseko.
Certainly a huge web. Govan, thank you for that report. Govan Whittles reporting for us from Johannesburg.